thing with us. So, a viral video where a man was seen lamenting how he is suffering in the hands of his wife. According to him, he said that his wife hits him, and now his daughters are hitting him and beating him up. He was crying out in church. Now, the reason why we wanted to talk about this, because a lot of time, the ladies of your view, we focus a bit on the wife being beaten by her spouse, or the fact that women are subjected to quite a bit of discrimination, abuse in our society. But we seldom discuss the abuse on men, especially in many quarters around the country, where men feel that they are subjected to torture, violence in their home, and they can't shout because, hey, first of all, for their personal ego, their family, they don't want anybody understanding or seeing that they're being beaten up by their wives. I've shared this personal story many years of a couple that I know. I know the couple, the wife was beating them. The man was a pastor, was a minister of God. And I used to go to their house a lot, and you could tell that he was just very calm. He just never wanted to touch this woman. But she knew how calm her husband was, and she used to just, throw a fist at the slightest confrontation. So this happens quite a bit, and we hardly talk about it. So sometimes it's important for us to highlight these practices and see what can be done to stop it, and also get people to help men to seek help in getting solutions to this. But you can call us and share a few of your experiences with us. We'll be happy to hear your own thoughts. You can call us on 081-0764-1679-090-241-63440. You can also share with us on X and also on YouTube. We'll be happy to read your messages. So let's talk about experiences. This man's lamentation. First of all, he was talking about how whenever he beats his children, the wife beats him back. Now, I know that we all have issues where our spouse is beating up the kids, and the thing is paining you as if it is you they are beating. But it has never gotten to the point where you feel you need to hit back. But what are your thoughts on this lamentation and the fact that there are men out there who get beat up by their spouses?
It was funny. Because a lot of people were laughing. It's funny.
It shouldn't be.
The way he was recounting it. So he's not recounting it from like a problem. He was recounting it as if it was a demon enter. How do you go? Possessed. As if she was possessed. As if he needs deliverance from it. As if with prayers it can be solved. So you are dealing with something that is a mental issue, and you're asking for deliverance from it. Women too go through that. So I'm not going to even come and downplay it, but I wish he had done the right thing. Either you seek a divorce, or you go through reporting the way you would expect a woman would go to the DSVA, for instance, if you're in a state where there's a DSVA. Go to the police if you are not in a state where there's no DSVA. Go to the family desk unit and report that your wife is doing this to you. Because I know men who just walk away and never come back. Which is so they're abusive women. So
that's where I want us to go, because I want to focus this conversation this morning. What should do men in that situation do? What could they do? How do they resolve it?
So let's talk about it.
Okay, so for what you were playing the video, I was watching the video on your phone. We should salute his courage. It takes a level of courage to admit that you are being beaten by your wife. It is not something that African men do. It's not something African men talk about. So it takes a bit of courage for him to even acknowledge and openly say what the problem is. It also takes a little bit of ignorance to say it the way he said it, and that's innocence and ignorance. The way he said Nima said, if you listen to him, he believed that maybe the woman is either possessed, or maybe this is my cross to carry, and I have married this person, I will live with it. He was appealing that beat me in secret, don't beat me in front of the children. So you will know that this is a case of someone who is in a traumatic situation, has built a trauma bond with the person traumatizing him, and has seen it as a spiritual cross to carry, and is now begging for deliverance that will help. Is appealing. It's how we sometimes go through something that is bad and excuse it and permit it. There are things you hear, I spoke to someone that her husband was beating her, and her husband abandoned her completely with 4 children for 1 year. And then she got an opportunity, and she was feeling bad that she would take this opportunity and her husband will not be there. In my head, I'm like, Shay, are you not? It's like, I hope there's no curse on your, like, what's this? You have suffered for years, beaten with pregnancy, and then you have an opportunity and you are still feeling an emotional attachment to the father of your children. This opportunity, I wish he would just repent and join me. So, so there's a whole lot of emotional, psychological challenge that needs to be unpacked, and I might not be able to totally prefer appropriate solution, but I feel it should be studied. The level of emotional bond people can have with someone that is hurting you, which sometimes have led people dying in relationships, because this is really such kind of situation.
So I want us to try very hard not to bring this back to the husband beating woman. No. I know you didn't do that. I'm just saying that let's just consciously remind ourselves that today this half of the show are focusing on men who are being abused by women. There are lots of women who they feed off this society where we're trying to always defend women, international women's, we're trying to support women. There are people there saying, okay, you have to, everything's all about how to ensure and empower the woman. So they feed off that and know that there's nowhere the husband is going to go, he won't find help. The other one too, because society will judge him, he doesn't tell anybody. The people he tells, he's scared they're going to talk about, take his story around. So what do we do to help a man who is being abused by his wife? And it's not only physical, there are verbal abuses also some men undergo.
I'm glad you went there, because about us maintaining, because I sent a video a few days ago to the group where this doctor something, I can't remember his name, says the moment you marry a bad woman, the devil no go look your side again, because he has he has settled you permanently. And in that video, the wife was punching the man on the bed. The man was holding, and it wasn't funny. I was watching it, I was angry. And I went through the comments, because it was a tweet. I went through the comments, and all the men were saying, and it was one of the reasons why I posted it on the group. It's because most of the men were commenting at, the women will not talk now. If it is man beating woman, all the women will shout. All the women will see this one now. Women will not talk. And I posted it on the group that day because I really wanted us to discuss it. So, like, our producers now found this one. So it's like poetic justice for me. Because I think it is very important that we do discuss women beating men. Because they do beat their men. And sometimes it's not that the man cannot respond, but he does not want to be seen beating a woman.
And he wasn't raised that way. He's not exposed to that kind of violence. So he's still confused, and he probably truly loves this person, and he feels that he understands where she's probably coming from. So there's a lot of time where we need to really pack this. But before we move forward, I'm told that we have to disconnect from the TVC news channel because there is a live coverage of the installation of newly appointed monarchs in Adamawa State. And the scheduled correction is for 10 a.m. So they're going to start very soon. And yes, we've linked up already. And we'll continue on the terrestrial channel and online. So I guess you'll continue on YouTube and watch us on GoTV and on Star Times. Okay, so as I say, let me come to you, Nima, because I know that you've defended a lot of women, and who have been beaten up. But are there men? Have you ever heard of a man's case, and how has the case been, and how did he come out? What exactly did he follow through to the end? Was the woman arrested? Was she detained? What exactly in your experience as a lawyer?
Just two. Yes, yeah. So the most recent one. So there are some men who are feminine in how they respond and see life. So this case of this audio is one of such men. What I do is that I man the man up. When you come to my office, I tell you if there's a need for an action, I'll tell you. But this particular person listened. I said, there's no need for this action. If you go around, because of the way society is wired, you're just going to get popular and it's going to die so fast. But there are things that I know, men from my place, I have seen them do. And if you do it, you will see results. And it was when I said, number one, you can't exist in a violent, toxic environment while your kids are growing. So since she has chosen, once she sees you tear cloth, Once she see you, fight. Once she see you, tear cloth, walk away, get another place. And it was like, hey, but my kids, I said, you pay for that residence, don't you? Come to that residence and visit your family. When you see your kids, let them know you are there because of them, but don't exist in the same environment where you can't even sleep. There was a day this man slept outside his office because as he was trying to find somewhere to put mats in the office, somebody found him, and so he knew going home and he needed to come to work. He just slept outside there with the security till morning. Because if he comes home, this woman will do everything, and you know, has his verbal abuse, cursing. The kids are there watching, and I want to use this opportunity to talk to women. It's not like we don't have sharp mouth, we don't know how to curse, but when you curse the father of your kids, let's say the man is the most toxic man, no matter how much that pain is, when you curse him, the curse can come back through his children, which are your children. So when there's a weight to cursing, make you think and well. So she would do that cursing, and then she had a higher connection. She had a backing. So if he goes to any law enforcement, he will meet her there. He will meet this there. So he wanted me to come. I said no. When we go through this route, we're just going to be meeting her because she's somebody who has the time to waste. Okay. So get yourself together, get your act together, take a break from this situation, which he did. And recently, I have not seen him. I don't know.
Let's try to get the root cause. Would you say it's because women are more empowered today?
No.
Some of them, I'm just trying to find what are the angles on this. Is it because there are women who are empowered? They feel that I don't need you, and since I have more money, I'm more financially stable than you, I can get away with anything. You have nobody to report me to. Because there are some situations where women feel that because the man is not able to meet her financial and economic needs in the house, she's in charge, and then she has the right to control him. So does it go back to the question of the order in the home, how it was originally created? You know how we've tried to evolve.
In this case, there's a language she used to use. You can never amount to anything. You are an ordinary man. He points to a language from, showing to her childhood. That language, she's always saying it to him, and when he hears it, it hurts him and he believes it. And then he goes and he loses maybe a major deal that he's dealing with. So he loses money. And he says, she's the one that is bringing it. It's even spiritual. But if you hear it, you know that this woman herself should be sitting in therapy. Because she doesn't know how to exist. No matter what she has, this one doesn't even have money. It's not about the number of education, and yet she curses. So it's not about whether a woman who is a wholesome person, who is a complete woman, no matter what she has, can love and be loved.
Let's go to a very short break. When we come back, we'll take a few phone calls and read some messages. Stay with us. We'll be right back.